Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're going to be taking a look at a few interesting topics. We're going to be discussing why children are not in Grand Theft Auto games and why they haven't been since GTA 3. We're also going to be looking at who is the youngest character in the Grand Theft Auto series, and some hints and clues that suggested that kids and children were maybe originally supposed to be a part of this fictional universe. So we're going to be talking about all of that in this video. This kind of stems from a Q&A question I got a few days ago, and ever since I did the real life mod on my channel where I went to like high school and, classes during the day, I thought it would be really cool to kind of look into this a little bit more. So without the way, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. So we'll kind of work our way from the bottom up. Think of this as a pyramid. And at the bottom of this period, it's the idea of why there aren't children in the Grand Theft Auto games. Ever since GTA 3, there has not been really children present throughout the world that we've really been able to see. And although Rockstar hasn't put out an official statement on this, I think that it's pretty obvious. They simply just don't want children to be associated with Grand Theft Auto games. I mean, GTA is an open world that allows you to do whatever you want. You could play it as passively or you could play it as non-passively as you wanted to. I mean, if you think about it, there are some aspects of Grand Theft Auto 5 that are very PG. I mean, if you just like riding your bike, if you like playing golf or tennis or skydiving, there's very PG aspects to this game. And then there's the other side of it, which has to do with going to the strip club, robbing banks, being able to kill anyone at any time using any weapon and by any method. And I simply don't think Rockstar wanted to subject children to be involved in that. Now, Rockstar is certainly no stranger to controversy. We've seen them with the GTA San Andreas kind of hot coffee mod. There's also been a bunch of other controversies that they've been caught up into that has put a lot of spotlight onto the Grand Theft Auto games. But I just don't think they wanted to deal with the backlash that would be putting children into the game. In fact, we've seen other developers do this as well. In another popular video game, Skyrim, children are in the game, but you actually can't harm them. And honestly, I'm surprised Rockstar didn't take this route, because if you think about it, it does seem really weird to go around this world and not have single children in there. It would seem a little bit more realistic, I guess a little bit more lively, but I'm guessing Rockstar just didn't want to deal with the, backlash that might come with having children in the game, because what people would do. They would do some of the most horrific stuff in the world. So as crazy and as gruesome as Grand Theft Auto can be, I just don't think Rockstar wanted to subject themselves to the backlash and the PR nightmare that might happen if they did include children into the game. So like I said, although there hasn't been an official statement on that, I think it's pretty obvious as to why they are not in Grand Theft Auto. Now, that isn't to say that there weren't original plans to have children in the game. There's been many, many hints throughout the game and throughout many of the GTA titles that suggest we were supposed to have children in the game. If we date all the way back to GTA Vice City and Vice City Stories, there are signs that you can find that say like caution, children are at play, or watch out for children. There's also leftover children kind of models that can be found within GTA 3 and other previous games. And even in Grand Theft Auto 5, there was originally supposed to be an elementary school right where the Los Santos University is. So I'll obviously have that image on the screen right now so you guys can see that, but that is scrapped right now. And if you go there right now, I think they actually turned it into a training facility. So that's one thing that has kind of happened. Maybe Rockstar originally intended to bring back children for GTA 5, because what's the point of having an elementary school if it wasn't going to have any kids there? Now, there's also some other hints that have been in previous GTA games, like abandoned school buses and being able to hear children when you're like driving by at super fast speeds, but I don't really think those have been proven as much as the physical things that we've been able to find. But there has certainly been hints in the game that suggest children were once a significant part of the NPC pedestrian life in game. So now let's talk about the two youngest ever characters in the Grand Theft Auto series. The first of which comes from Grand Theft Auto 4. You might actually recognize this. It's a character that we don't actually see or get to hear from in any cutscenes or whatnot, but it's Jill Von Crastenburg. Now, if that name rings a bell to you, that's because the Von Crastenburg is a hotel chain in the Grand Theft Auto series. There was one in GTA 4, there's one in Grand Theft Auto 5, and Jill is the teenage daughter of the Von Crastenburgs. She's 13 years old, her place of birth is in Liberty City, And supposedly, she is supposed to be a parody of Paris Hilton. We know that Hilton is obviously a very popular chain of hotels. The Von Krastenberg is a popular chain of hotels in game. They look very similar appearance-wise. Now, some information you might not know about Jill. She's been arrested twice, the first of which was in 2006 when she would have been 10 years old for possession of a controlled substance, and that was actually cocaine, and then a year later for public lewdness. So they also have like a bunch of other things on her, like she suffers from nervous breakdowns, eating disorders, history of drug and alcohol abuse, is on the Liberty City party circuit. So very interesting information right there. That is actually her police database file in Grand Theft Auto 4, so I thought that was very interesting. And then the youngest ever character to exist in the Grand Theft Auto series is actually an infant from the game Vice City Stories. And it's actually a baby that can be seen in a cutscene. Her name is Mary Beth Williams. Now, you don't really get to interact with this infant, obviously, but this is the youngest character that ever makes an appearance in the Grand Theft Auto series. So I thought that that was extremely cool right there, because you don't see many young kids in the game. And if you play Vice City Stories, you'll see this infant only a handful of times. Now, many people often confuse two very popular characters in Grand Theft Auto 5 to be young and to be kids. And that's actually a misconception. And that is Jimmy DeSanta and that is Tracy DeSanta, the children of Michael and Amanda. So just because they live with their parents, Michael in their big house, doesn't mean that they are technically kids. In fact, both Tracy and Jimmy are both in their early 20s. So like I said, even though they don't like have their own job, they don't have their own place, doesn't really seem as if they have an education of that regards in terms of going to a university or college or anything like that, they're still adults. So that doesn't count as children. I know many people were probably going to bring that up in the comment section, like saying like, you know, what about Jimmy and what about Tracy? No. They are not considered kids. They are considered adults, even though they act like kids. They live with their parents and they don't really have any sort of responsibilities in game. Now, there is one reference in Grand Theft Auto 5 to children. It's actually on a website called Accept the Chaos. And if you go there, you will see children. You can click the Play as God tab, and we don't have an official age for them, so that's exactly why I'm not including them on this list. But they are seen, and you can see children. And if you want to check out this really, really creepy website, you absolutely can. It involves like, you know, that family dying right there. It involves like Los Santos getting flooded. So it's Accept the Chaos. You can type that in the internet bar, and you can pull this up. So that is another reference of children in Grand Theft Auto series, and this one's even more interesting because it's in Grand Theft Auto 5, so it's one that we can likely just check out whenever we want any day. But anyways, that's really all the information that I'm going to be talking about for you guys in this video today, and really all the news regarding children in the GTA series, why they are not in the game for mostly obvious reasons, the hints and clues that Rockstar have left over in the game that suggest that they might have been used in a more bigger role, which could have been really cool, and once again, the two youngest and very interesting characters in the Grand Theft Auto series. So if you did learn one new thing from this video, I would love it if you guys would leave a like rating. That would be awesome. And also consider hitting that subscribe button if you guys are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. I should be live streaming in a little bit. If not, I will have a second video out, so stay tuned for that. It will be lots of fun. But like I said, without the way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.